We're good.
All right.
Good.
Yeah,
Well,
just flip up papers. There we go.
perhaps you guys are ready to be on for this meeting. And perhaps whoever's watching is ready to receive something special. I hope you are. Welcome. This is Pieces Built Through Communication. And we are representatives of the readers of the Universal Peace Covenant on Zoom. Been doing that for 2,159 days, I think, in a row. This is our 259th day, I believe, in a row. So that gave birth to Pieces Built Through Communication. And here you are. Thank you for being here. And Nick, if you can get a light upon you, that would be
Yeah, I'm gonna fix it. I don't know what my call's that. Hold on.
okay. Yeah. And so we
There.
have,
Yeah, that's gonna be probably. I don't have that light in my room, but everybody else is fine, really.
yeah,
I
you're great.
started.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's always dark in my room, so there's nothing to do about that, unfortunately.
Yep. Amen. Okay. So Nick is here from Cincinnati, and Jerry is here from Chicago, and Miko is piping in here from Chiang Mai, and Stella Lynn is in Indy, meaning Indianapolis. It's got that at the end of her name. That is not her name. That is where she is, Indianapolis. And
Here
I
comes the
am
light. Here
in,
we go.
great, Nick, we can see you. And I am in St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm the National Peace Ambassador for the School of Metaphysics. And we come together today to do something awesome. Hello, my name's Terrence Lamont. We're going to be talking about peace. We do this every month. We've done it a little more than 2 years now, right close to being in the middle of 2 years. We actually started in January, so that was an interesting thing. We didn't mean to do that. It's just the way it happened to. So here we are. We've been doing this once a month, and we've had some great discussions, and hopefully this is going to be the absolute best. You came at the right time. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about love, about the five love languages. Jerry gave us this subject a couple of weeks ago during, actually, the day before uh, Cupid's Day. What's that day called?
Oh, let's say
Valentine's Day. Yeah, that day we were talking. We were like, what is up with this love thing? So we decided it'd be a good idea to talk about it. So here we are. Stella Lynn has a something that we call the preamble, and I believe that she is also, I guess she'll be like the 51% leader of the this event, but everybody here is going to be giving, expressing, but she may have a little more to say because she has the book in her hands.
I do.
So
Okay.
go ahead and get us started there, Stella, please.
Okay. Our preamble for the Pieces Built Through Communication. As it is established in the Universal Peace Covenant, and since peace is indeed built through communication, the open exchange of ideas is necessary for discovery and well-being, for growth, for progress, whether within one person or among many. We come together here now in this meeting of hearts and minds to have a spiritual or spirited discussion. This is an open forum. This is not a class. There are no teachers in Pieces Built Through Communication, live Facebook discussion. In this experience, we establish the reality that we are all equal. We have a moderator who has been chosen prior and chooses now to give of themselves freely and does not wish to push or cajole or manipulate those who join here today or those who might witness this in the future. For this discussion, it is indeed designed to share ideas, experiences, and understandings, and by doing so, come to a greater truth through each one sharing the personal experience with sagacity, with equanimity, both free of prejudice, so that thus we will come to know that peace is liberty and tranquility.
As well, keep going
Okay.
to express our topic So,
Oh, I certainly can do that. Yeah, our topic tonight is based on this book. I'm gonna turn my background off. The Five Love Languages. And many of you have maybe read this book. Hold on one second. No background. Okay. The five, what is it? Yeah. The Five Love Languages, How to Express Heartfelt Commitment to Your Mate. So, this book goes into detail about how we give and receive love. And it says to your mate, the book, but it can be through friendships, through family members. And the author, Dr. Gary Chapman, has postulated that there are five main ways people express love, giving and receive love. And those five ways are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So, what I have understood from the book and what I received that, people may express their love and appreciation in different ways. And one way that I may express appreciation for show my love or care, I may say some positive words or I may do some service. That way may or may not be received by the other person, that they feel loved, they feel appreciated, they feel cared for. I think that's where it seems like that's where some conflicts arise when there's communication and there's expectations that, oh, this person should do this or they should show the love in this way, where that may not be their love language. And we all have different ways of doing it. And this diagram here, see the five love languages. So if someone values quality time and another person values giving and receiving gifts, well, those are both nice things, but are they on the same page? So I would like to hear from everyone some stories about how they've experienced this in their personal life. I will say this, and I said it already about expectations. I know when I have expectations that someone will believe or receive the way I think they should, and then I don't get back what I think I should. I know that there is resentments or there have been resentments that can form between relationships. And it's unfortunate because, we can both really care about each other, but if we're speaking a different love language, there can be miscommunication. So I've flipped through this book and I see there's full of examples. Oh, this book also talks about, in the beginning, it talks about the in love experience. When everything is euphoric, everything is wonderful. Two people meet and neither of them can do any wrong. They're just perfect and it's everything is great, life is great. And it's saying, during that time, most of the time people are not very reasonable. They don't really see things as they are. So that can bring apart or bring disappointments after that kind of stabilizes that in love experience. So that's where communication can come in and really, really knowing each other and asking the right questions. So I think I will stop there and I will open it up if anyone has a story or any thoughts about the five love languages. I guess I could tell a story too. That would start of somebody thinking about the different relationships in my life. I think with acts of service, I think that's how I show, that is one way that I show love and appreciation. I do things for people or I show love in that way. And sometimes I haven't always felt appreciated. Like if they don't say, "Oh, great, we really appreciate this." So I show things through active service, but then I want to hear words of affirmation. And some people have given that. And when they don't, I've noticed, wait a minute, don't they appreciate me? I'll start questioning that. But then again, am I freely giving that service too? That's something to look at as well. You know, am I just freely giving that or am I expecting something back? But it does really feel good when I get affirmed and when I receive, hey, that was a great job, or really appreciate that. That's a love language for me. So, yeah, it's pretty affirming in many respects. Terrence Lamont, I don't know if you have any thoughts or a story to share about.
Well, this can be a complicated subject
It can.
to talk about. There's a lot of possibilities here. So, having many voices was a hope and desire that we would have different ways of looking at this, different thoughts about it. I mean, I had a lot of different experiences that I don't know that, I mean, I tend to be specific about my stories, but um, I'm thinking that there's just been a lot of different experiences that I've had. Feeling love, like what it even is, that feeling, like knowing what that actually is, or guessing what it is a lot of the times, I think is what has happened for me a lot, like not necessarily knowing or having an experience of great admiration for lots of different people. But for the situations of like romantic love, it's like I was young. I can remember. I remember being in. I guess it was I don't know, man. It could have been first grade, but it feels like it was earlier than that. I'm not really sure. But chasing a girl and like being really infatuated by her, and being that young, I can remember that. There's many things that I can't remember from childhood, but I can remember that. I remember her name even was Brandy, and just being in school and I don't even remember school. I don't even know what I was doing in school, what I learned, or anything like that. But I remember this burning desire to interact with this girl. And was that like a past life memory? Was that just two hearts, two souls being connected? I don't really have explanations for it, but it was a powerful experience even then, even now. And I can't forget it. It's like I said, I forgot a lot of stuff, obviously, but I haven't forgotten that. And how long did it last? I don't even know how long I was in that school, because I moved before school was even over. So I was probably there for like 6 months at the most, maybe not even that long. And then moving that forward, into adulthood, it's been more and more experiences. Um, I guess I could say that I wear, in that respect, that there are often times where I wear my heart on my sleeve, um, and it has gotten me into different, what you can call trouble, in different cases. But yeah, I just had interesting experiences with relational love, but platonic love too. We got two graphics that I'm sharing right now. I'm gonna try to keep going back and forth for, because there's lots of identity around the thought of love, like Stella said.
Do you remember how you were communicating your love
Say what?
language? Do you remember how you were communicating your love language?
Oh, one of my, maybe the top one is, for me, it's physical touch. And I always thought that was, whenever I first was introduced to this book, I was like, what is this book talking about? How was, I didn't really understand it, to tell you the truth. That was quite a while ago in my, spiritual journey. But I didn't quite understand. I was like, what do you mean you can't? I thought physical touch was pretty much the only way to express love. It was like, acts of service and the others. That's why wanted to have that up there. Am I still sharing?
Interesting.
I got to stop sharing.
You're not sharing.
I'm not trying.
Okay, I want to look at it.
I can say something real quick. For me, affirmations weren't a big thing. Physical touch was a big thing for me before, but then that's when I identified more, I guess, being needing, like needing to receive love in that format, like needing to be tactile.
There we go.
And then after that, it changed to my top one is quality time now. Meaning wherever I am I feeling appreciated? Am I aware of the moment? To me, this is what I value now. Physical touch is still there, but not as much as like getting full attention and receiving in the moment, or being received and receiving.
Yeah, I mean, even like for me, high fives are a way to express love. Like, you know, not just hugs or anything more intimate, but I mean, patting on the back, even, you know.
Yeah, I mean, shaking hands, that's like,
Yeah, shaking hand. I mean, yeah,
it's built into our culture, right?
right.
Whereas in like other cultures, oh, let's take it for opposite sex, you're not supposed to touch. So it's more like no shake hands. It's just more like
Right.
Yeah, well, here where I live in Thailand, people very rarely touch. It's you know, shaking hands. If you're dealing with a Westerner, sometimes they will, but you know, they bow to each other, which is a very nice gesture. But there's very little touch here in Thailand, and I think it's even more radical in Japan. They very rarely touch each other.
So I could see those cultures seem to be more probably focused on acts of service and maybe quality time.
I know like in Japan, there's a lot of like, I would say extreme body language. Like if someone's like apologetic, they bow.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how apologetic they are, it's how low they bow. It's kind of interesting. So a lot, I feel like a lot more is communicated through body language in other cultures.
Yeah, it's interesting that the body language isn't included in one of these five, you know, physical touch. Yeah, I mean, that's important. But what Jerry is pointing to is that there are ways of communicating through the body, which, I mean, something as simple as eye contact, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
feeling like, let's just go away from like the physical touch to actually like this other sensation of being felt, like you feel heard, like you feel like you're being listened to, like the presence. I think we can say it's not just the physical touch being physical, but actually just being felt.
Feeling it within yourself, right? Which is probably why the physical touch is even happening, is because that gives a very tactile way of connecting with the other person. You feel what you want to feel from them.
Yeah.
And from them, that's even an interesting statement, right? I mean, it's not coming from them. It's really coming from you, from your own heart.
Yeah, but also talking about different degrees of intimacy, right? Not everyone is comfortable with the touch because they feel a lot. So just, you know, even in some in healing modalities, there's not much touch being, like physical touch being happening, but the intention is there and it's being pointed towards the individual, not even touching the body, but there's an energy transmission.
I mean, even in this, where we're not, anybody, we know each other, we've met each other before, most of us, but then we're meeting here on this, platform. And then people are watching us meet on this platform. And how many of us, have fell in love with a movie star, or a cartoon character even, I mean, it's like you don't actually have to touch, right?
Yeah. I think that merges over into the notion of quality time. Simply making the effort to show up for a Zoom meeting. There's not going to be any physical touch, but it's an aspect of quality time, and obviously words of affirmation. Like, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Let me just stop and say that. I appreciate very deeply what all of you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Experienced love too with Nikki.
Yeah, that's an important factor. So I guess I can tell another, or like here's a story that's all about not having met, but sharing love. There was this experience where, like right now, you guys know, maybe you know that I have this thing that I call We Are Valuable Media, this idea, this page, it's like, it's how I kind of conduct myself when I'm online. I'm almost to the point where I can wash out my name and just call myself We Are Valuable Media. But that started from an experience of somebody wanting to do something that, I don't know if y'all have ever seen this before. Tell me if y'all seen this before. Have you ever been on Facebook or any social media channel and somebody talks about something called a love bomb? Have you ever heard that before?
I have not.
Yeah, that's something I recently came across, actually, the buzzword.
Yeah, back in like 2014, I was on Facebook and I saw somebody post in a group and they said, "Hey, let's love bomb each other." And I was like, "What?" It's like, "What are y'all talking about?" And so then they're like, "If anybody wants to be friends, just comment on this post." And so everybody starts commenting and it just explodes, man. I mean, there were so many people who were saying, "Yes, I want to be friends. Let's do this. Let's do this," And so we just started friending everybody over about a week. This one post became alive, in such a way that I've never seen actually, even since, in this present time. I haven't seen anything like that before. All these people from all over the world befriending each other. I had about 700 friends, and I went from like 700 to like 2,000 friends in a week. And we were just connecting on that post over and over and over again, connecting in Messenger and just, interacting and just finding benefit and just sharing deep love with each other. And then that manifested into us wanting to meet each other in the physical. We were going to create some kind of retreat. And it kind of fell through because of a lot of different reasons. One major reason was because somebody came in and wanted to exploit everybody. But that experience lasted for about 2 weeks. And I connected with all these people all over the world through social media, and it was nothing but love. It was kind of an amazing experience. And I recently ran across a GroupMe where we were connecting. We came away from Facebook and started using GroupMe, and it was almost like a fairy tale. It was a pretty wild experience. But then it died, and that's okay that it died. But the point of it being what it was absolutely universal love. And so that was a really powerful experience for me. So just talking about the whole screen thing, Zoom, movies, social media, whatever it may be.
I kind of want to explore that. When you said that for 2 weeks, it felt like universal love.
Well, it didn't stop. The love didn't stop though. And it was universal love. That's just what it was. Like, it wasn't even like the feeling of it, was the weirdest part. Like, trying to get involved in the feeling, it was just like, wow, why is this happening? It was just so moving and touching and powerful. But it was just what it was like. It was like we were all already, like we already knew each other. Like there was nothing really to find out. It was just, hey, I know you, type experiences. Have you ever had a baby like pay like so much attention to you, like 6 months or so, like a really young
Oh
child?
yeah, I love that.
When they just keep staring at you.
Undivided attention.
Yeah.
Genuine curiosity.
Right. God, I love that so
There's
much.
no judgment. It's just genuine
Beautiful.
curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their soul. You can
Yeah.
see the essence of the soul and just happy joy.
Yeah, it was similar to that. It was like that. No explanation, just real.
So then, well, are you saying now it's not as?
No. I'm saying that was that. That was my awareness of that, and that was how I understood it. That was how I grew. That's why I have We Are Valuable Media now, because I know it's real. that love can transcend space and time.
It felt like it was a community that was appropriate at that time, and it helped you get to a certain point.
It's almost like it was my movie, you know, like it was just a wild experience, but it was powerful and beautiful. And now it's like I'm just basking in that experience on doing this. That's how, I mean, that might be, I would have to say that's a lot of the reason why we're even here now.
Interesting. You're saying that that inspired you to be the National Peace Ambassador?
You know what? I didn't even know that until right now, but yes.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Because I knew that humans were capable of loving like that.
Yeah. On that note, everyone I think we put up guards and blocks, and maybe because the past hurts, or we don't want to let love in, or we don't understand it, or we felt like we loved and lost, or all those things that can go into that. And so then we create separation instead of connection with each other. So it's interesting. I can see myself when I've done that, or just even when I'm passing by somebody on the street, or looking at people more. And now I'm making an effort to do that, to like look and maybe smile at people. And it just makes such a difference. Like in my day, and I think their day, they smile back instead of just looking at the floor.
I know, right? Actually establish eye contact. That does it way.
Yeah, people, right? Yeah. It's like, what is that?
You get the double look, and then they're like, "Oh, you're looking at me." It's like, "What?
They're like,
doing
oh,
something?"
right.
It's weird. It's just weird to get that much, unless it's a baby, right? Just weird for adults to give that much attention.
So much attention from each other, especially if you don't really know each other that well. You think you don't know each other that well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This made me think of
sometimes in like partner yoga classes or something like that, group meditation classes, there's a form of meditation where you pair off. And so it's not a lover, it's just another human being. And you just stare into each other's eyes. And I've been in a situation before where both of us just start crying. That the contact of, like a minute or 5 minutes. Have you ever done that? 5 minutes of simply sitting still, not talking, having eye contact. It is profound.
It is.
And it is so rare. This only happens in, like, oh, let's go to a formal workshop in human communication,
All right.
Something you have to be ushered into, something you have to like get permission for.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of reminds me that whole staring at exercise, kind of like if you do it by yourself, the mirror exercise from the School of Medicine.
Yeah.
Have you, Jerry, have you done it at the Peace Dome? Have you done it with a whole bunch of people?
Oh, I have not done it at the Peace Dome.
Oh man, we've done that before, Miko. It's been a really powerful experience where we would
it's incredible.
And it's a way that you would somehow, Dr. Barbara, she's good with numbers, and she was able to figure out if you do it with like two people, like there's maybe say there's 40 people in a room together. You're all sitting on the floor. And so then you start by just picking somebody. And so you sit across, fairly far away in the room, and you just say, okay, somebody over there, we're going to do this. And then you pick them and okay. So then you sit there and you stare at each other for a minute, 2 minutes. And then you find somebody else. And then you there's a way you can do it with numbers where there's 4 of you. And then there's 6 of you, and then there's 8 of you, or some, I can't remember how it works, but there's some mirror effect way of doing it, and you switch around and you may get the same person. again,
And this
you
is
know,
all nonverbal, right? You don't
and
say
it's
anything.
nonverbal. Yeah, you just move around. There's somebody who has a bell or some kind of a sound, a trinket of some kind, and you play it, and then you move and you find somebody else, and then you move and you find somebody else, and you just keep moving around. It's such a beautiful experience.
I practice this exercise with somebody. I mean, I actually do it like subconsciously because I just like whenever I'm connected with someone. But someone who was talking a lot, I asked them, "Can we just sit in presence for a bit?" And what was really interesting, I found out is like their eyes kept darting,
Mm-hmm.
like they were looking for something to say. So you could see how difficult it was to still the mind. So what
Yeah.
was speaking most of the time when they're talking, it was just like their mind constantly
Yeah.
going. And it was hard to
Yeah.
connect.
Yeah. You know, there's
good
a
level of
spiritual dance form. It's called the Dances of Universal Peace.
Oh
I
yeah.
hope you guys know
Yes.
about it.
I know about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also called Sufi dance because the guy who invented it was the guy called Sufi Sam, invented in San Francisco in the 1960s. So,
Mhm.
the time of peace, love, Woodstock, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm getting at is several of the dance forms. It involves partnering up, but then in a circle. So after you sing the song, and very commonly there's gestures, like sometimes it's literally putting your hand on the other person's heart and looking at them right in the eye and maybe spinning around very slowly and then singing the song that has to do with love and I see you, and I can't remember any in particular, but this has been also some of the most profound experience of my life. Sufi dance is astounding. In fact, if I can tell a brief story about that, here in Chiang Mai, actually about an hour drive north of here, 2 weekends ago, there was a big hippie gathering that's called Shambhala. So the word Shambhala is a Buddhist concept of the perfection of love and harmony manifest on the earth. And it was like that. There were people from just, hippies from all over the world, mostly from China and Japan, which was really interesting. This is such a big draw of Japanese hippies. It was really cool. But I went to a performance presentation, not presentation, because everybody is dancing, a workshop of Dances of Universal Peace. And I think they didn't even use the word Sufi dance. I think they simply called it Dances of Universal Peace.
Mhm.
But it was really interesting because the leaders of it was one Japanese woman and one Chinese woman. And the Chinese woman spoke almost no English. And so she had to speak to somebody else and talk to us. But we wound up doing exactly the same thing. And for me, the resonance of that, I've been doing Sufi dance on and off for, I don't know, 50 years. More than 50 years. So it's a very deep part of my practice is using collective dance and the touch. So Jerry, like you were saying earlier, just there's all different kinds of touch. Just holding hands with somebody as you're dancing, that's really profound. And like I say, that one of the common things, one of the common gestures within Sufi dance is to touch the other person's heart. And that is incredible. And I'm sure you guys know there's like tantric
that's more
techniques as well.
tantric.
Exactly. You touch your own heart and touch the other person's heart. And then, fairly often, you touch the third eye or, whatever. But and it's as an art form, it is an amazing concept. Dancing a manifestation of peace among an international group. It was incredible. I was just so high from doing that. And then at a certain point, I said, I need to make a film of this. So I stepped away and got my camera out. And so I was able to, present this to various other people. And it's the same thing. Being in a room with you guys would be very profound. But here we are, all of us staring at a screen. There's still human connection, right?
Definitely.
And there's something amazing about this idea of dances of peace, being there with all of those people. And then because I was able to make the film and put it on Facebook, there were a lot of people who got it. You know, there was comments like, "Wow, where can I find Dances of Universal Peace where I am?" You know.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it is.
Do you still have the video?
It's on my Facebook page someplace or another.
Facebook deleted all their videos. He did not save it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure I have it on my phone. Sure.
Well, that's live videos though, which is
Any
why
kind of
we're.
video, any kind of video that was not reels.
Oh, that
Really?
was not reels. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, then they change them into now everything is a reel. Yeah, but that's why we don't go live anymore. We're on YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. They don't delete
Yeah.
stuff.
The only place to play videos. Until they charge us a quota for it. Oh my god.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's really beautiful, Miko. That's amazing. I did not know that was a kind of Sufi dance. I gotta research it. Do you know what kind of Sufi school this dance would have come from?
Yeah. However, you're not going to like the answer. It's really a self-made, home-brewed Sufism. It's not a legitimate coming from Persia or whatever Sufism, but you should look it up. So you guys all know Ram Dass, right?
Right.
Ram Dass was sort of a devotee or a follower of Sufi Sam for a while. And there's also the silly character in R. Crumb's comics, Mr. Natural. Mr. Natural is basically a version of Sufi Sam. And Jerry, I swear to God, you should look it up. There's all kinds of information about it.
I'm writing down Sufi Sam right now.
I forget his family name, but he was a profound as hell teacher, but he isn't really teaching what any Islamic person would say. That's not Sufism. That's just hippie shit. But it was the best hippie shit that there was. You know, seriously, he synthesized many kinds of wisdom traditions into a general overall philosophy based in love and community. And like I say, his dance, it was the main thing that he did. Sufi dance. It'll blow your mind, man. I mean,
That's
do
beautiful.
some, yeah.
The only other person I can think of that does like a dance in the spiritual realm is like Osho.
Uh-huh.
I heard Osho did those like, I forget, like, I guess, is that where ecstatic dance came from?
Yeah, ecstatic dance. Exactly right.
Oh, is that where it came from? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't know that either.
Osho's gotten a bad rap from some people.
Yeah, so did Jesus.
Yeah. Especially in his time, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
what happens with those is usually the students of the teacher that, let's use the word, make mistakes or something, and then the teacher get associated with it.
Yeah.
And then, so what about, I know all of us don't really have animals. We don't talk that much about animals in our little branch of spirituality, but have you had any experiences with animal love?
Oh, cats?
Yeah.
Whenever we're talking about animal love, this is interesting. We're talking about incorporating animals with love language. I like that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Animals, I feel, are the second best to attention than like babies. The emotion that they give is so genuine.
Yeah.
And the cats, they come, and then if you're feeling something, then it's just like they're like emotional channels.
Yeah.
And dogs just give you that unconditional presence, almost too much sometimes.
Something crossed my Facebook page just yesterday that was like 5 seconds of this and 5 seconds of that. This dog welcoming home the master that they hadn't seen in a long time, and their tails are going, and they're just, just going completely crazy. And then here's another dog doing the same thing, and here's another dog. And I tell you, man, it was the most amazing expression of joy that I've ever seen. So what Jerry is saying is, the attention that they give you, the focus. I'm going to just sit here and just look at you and I want you to, and touching, dogs will rub up against you and cats too. But I've always been, more of what they call a dog person. I don't like the phrase, but I interact better with dogs. And there's something really nice about playing with a dog and training a dog and just hanging out with them. So I had a dog when I was, like a young teenager. I'm not sure how old I was when I got him, but he was born on George Washington's birthday. And so we called him George. And so George Washington's birthday was just a few days ago. And something that showed up on my Facebook page was a photograph of me and George curled up in this embrace. And I tell you, it was one of the most heart-touching photos I have ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it really grabbed me and I started crying.
Yeah, there's this, in this age, I don't know if this is AI or not, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I didn't do a lot of research on it, but there's supposedly a shelter somewhere in the world, a dog shelter, where they let the dogs choose the human. They let the dog choose. So all the humans sit down, somewhere in a room, and then they let the dogs run in, and whoever the dog jumps on, that's who becomes their owner.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
I want that to be true, but I don't.
I know. I couldn't tell. I was like, "Is this AI?" And I didn't really research it, but
it's a nice idea.
I want that to be true as well. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, when I have a few stories. Just I've had a dog growing up that's very Benji. He was a black Benji, like a shaggy black Benji. And he was very loving. And then I've had several cats. And actually, one of the cats I had that is kind of how she picked me. Her name was Sabrina, and out of a shelter. Like, I went to an animal shelter and I was looking at different cats and they brought her in and I said, not sure if I want to keep her. And then she looked at me, she gave me this look like, oh no, like, I want to go home with you. And I'm like, okay. So I took her home. She was a lovely cat for many years. And so and they all have had different personalities, different cats that I've had, but each of them in my life, they came at a certain time. It's kind of cool. And I even have one now. He's an outside cat here. I named him Hunter. And he's still not let me, he or she, pet him. But the cat brings me a lot of joy. Just to know the cat's around, and I feel the love of the cat, and I feel a connection with the cat. It's like the cats have always kind of come to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's been interesting how they came into my life. And as I look back, they were very loving and what I guess we both needed at the time.
Yeah. There are just some people too, animals, babies, people, adults, who I just like, you can share, like, this is an experience of love. I don't know if we want to call it quality time, but I just like to be around some people, and I may not even tell them, but it's just, I'm just like, they're there and I'm like, okay, I can relax around with you. I like talking to you. You carry some kind of energy, some kind of positivity or something that I just like. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of like a form of love. That's like, it's
very valid. That is because you're giving your time, like, you appreciate your time with them. So that's quality time, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just thinking about that today when I was at work. I was like, I really like working with you, but I didn't even tell them because I didn't think it was that important, at that time necessarily. But it was just like,
you don't want to give them the words of affirmation.
Yeah, I could just say, good, just connect with them, right, and just let that be what it is. You don't have to always call it out, I guess is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think particularly worked this one restaurant for a long time, different people that I worked with that I really, worked well with, or would have really good conversations, and I enjoyed working with them, just being around them, in that environment, and then in other environments as well. Just, feeling more relaxed or comfortable with certain people, just like that is a form of love.
Or alive, even.
Yeah.
We haven't said anything about best friends, right? It's like, And you have, when you're with your best friend, it's not romantic, but you just, you love them, a lot. We've seen a lot of examples of that, right?
Mhm.
And people just want to, be with each other, and they make you feel more alive, and you feel like you can do more. You can play sports with them, and you win championships because you have that kind of connection, mental, maybe even connection, like
Yeah,
telepathy
that
or
reminds me
something.
of a concept in Sufism called sohbet, which is you're just sitting in good company. You don't have to
Yeah.
be communicating. Everyone can be doing their own thing, but you're just
Hmm.
in a space where it's like where you feel safe, to express yourself and be heard.
Yeah. It's always
It's
wonderful.
very healing. Actually, I think this is what's
It
lacking in
is.
a lot of communities that lead to like mental health events. It's
Mm.
because they're feeling too lonely. They don't feel the connection,
Yes.
and so it leads to unstable coping mechanisms.
Yeah, we call it finding your tribe, right? A lot of people now are saying that phrase has been popular for a while now.
Yeah.
I think we all have a tribe, right? We're trying to find.
I'm
There's
just
a
wondering, Nico.
there's a coffee shop near where I live. Well, it's actually a tea shop. Jerry, I think you'll be amused at this. It's called Inshallah.
Oh, nice.
And cha is
Inshallah.
the normal Chinese word for tea, inshallah. And
Beautiful.
it's a spiritual gathering place. And sometimes it's exactly that. You just go there and you sit and you drink your tea and you see these people around you, friendly faces. You don't even have to talk. You're
Right.
just sitting there. And it's finding your tribe. It's also finding a space,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a coffee shop like that here in St. Louis that I loved to go to for many years, and they had a fire recently, so they're rebuilding, and it was like, yeah, it was like an experience of kind of, a friend moving away or something when I couldn't go there anymore. I was like, oh man, I can't. I even went by there like a couple of times because I forgot. I forgot that I couldn't come in. I was like, oh man, I forgot this is shut down. You know, so it was like that kind of feeling. Yeah, like your friend moved out of town or something.
Yeah, Mika, when you were talking about spaces, like I thought about the concept of third spaces. It's like a
Third,
space that's not at home, not at work.
yes.
It's just another space where you can experience something, where you feel comfortable.
Well, that's the school of metaphysics, right?
I would say so.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say
it used to
absolutely.
be a very common thing in England and Netherlands and places like that people would gather at the local pub
Mm.
and just all the time. You're done with work, you go to the pub. It's not so much to have a beer,
Right.
it's to be in this third space.
Okay.
It's like it's where
Was
your friends are.
was Cheers ever filmed? Was there ever a time where they weren't at the bar?
Mhm.
Like I wasn't an avid watcher, but
I don't
I don't
know.
remember ever seeing them not at the bar.
Cheers.
I don't
It
think
rings a
I can't
bell.
remember either. Maybe if they went to each other's house or something like that, or I don't know.
I think the central location was the bar, and that was like the theme. Like it was just the community within that space.
Yeah,
I guess we're just spotlighting community. That's what this all is. But we're talking about how relevant the space is too.
right.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
people can make the space too. It can go both ways. The space can make the people, and the people can make the space like more safe or unsafe.
Hmm.
It's interesting.
And of course, just being outside, man, just being in nature. Just feeling what we might call God's love or just the love of the universe. Is always present, right?
Hmm. We don't always feel it though. There's always that concept of introducing someone new into a safe space,
Hmm.
like how they would receive it, how they would communicate within it.
Yeah. So Valentine's Day is all about this the gratitude of or the missing of having a romantic love. So I'm glad we were able to come together and really give this. This is like a gift to each one of us, obviously.
Mhm.
But whoever watches this, I hope they can have a deeper experience that maybe they wouldn't expect as well.
Well, that's what I think every night for you morning, every time I'm at the Peace Covenant, I think of that as not only, this is just one of the aspects of it, doing service to humanity. So I'm aligning my own consciousness with whoever is on the Facebook or the Zoom feed. But more importantly, all of us are contributing at that moment to humanity's feeling of peace and tranquility. And I say that's not the only thing, because I confess a lot of it is just my own ego-driven thing of I want to do this so that I can feel better.
Yeah.
But there's a real important component to that, with my own feeling not just better, but feeling consciously involved in peace over the course of this 10-minute ritual recitation of something that the content of it is obviously important as hell, but doing this ritual thing for 10 minutes aligns humanity's consciousness. I am part of humanity. And I don't think that's an overstatement.
Well, what I feel is you're talking about self-love, which is like a very important concept of, if you want to have love outside of you, you got to first be able to give it to yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's divine love where you feel everything, right? You can feel that. But self-love, sometimes that takes practice. We don't know how to love ourselves. And our connection with others kind of reflects that, how much, what is also self-love also involves what? Self-respect. How much we respect ourselves. So what you're saying, Miko, is you doing that is like kind of like, I call it hashtag divine birthright. You're doing that because, this is the kind of love you want. And it's perfectly, I just call it being sacredly selfish, I'd say, which is beneficial for others, is a good example.
I like to think about how that happens immediately. Like I had an experience earlier today where I was talking to somebody and they had on headphones, and they were kind of had an attitude like I wasn't talking right or something. But I'm thinking to myself, if you weren't listening to your headphones, you might be able to hear. We might be having a better communication here. But then I had to think about did I even get myself in this situation? Because I'm here too. It's not just that this person has something that they can receive from this experience that's more than just the interaction. I was able to immediately be like, okay, look at yourself. Why are you here? What can you benefit from just interacting with this person? And I wouldn't have called it love. I didn't say love to myself, but I did think about compassion. I thought about, how would I want to be treated if I had something that I needed to listen to? Maybe I'm talking to somebody on the phone, but I also have to go do something and I got to run and hurry up and go do it. And I can't get off the phone. Would I want somebody, looking at me like I'm, the source of their pain and suffering? Like I wouldn't want that. So I was able to see the compassion. I was able to feel and witness the compassion that I don't know what this person is going through. I'm not sure what their situation is right now. So, so even though they are doing something that I'd rather they wouldn't, that doesn't mean I'm right. It was just an opportunity for me to realize that.
Yeah, and people's attention is different. Like on Zoom, like having the video on, having the audio unmuted, it just, in some ways, some people count that as like respect. You're giving me the attention. But others can listen to it and participate just as much with just having the video off or even the audio muted. They're hearing it.
It's their choice.
It goes back to like our perception of how we want to receive.
Yeah.
It's just really realizing that everyone's doing their best and just making it easier to participate. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Easier to receive the kind of love you're giving, or trying to receive the love they're giving you.
In the moment, right? If you can witness and realize I'm giving, I'm receiving, I'm giving, I'm receiving.
Like another example of love language I could call, which is very difficult for me, is gift giving, particularly receiving gifts. Because if I ever receive a gift, I think, do you even think about if I'd like this or not? Like, what kind of, or are you just giving me a gift because you need to give me a gift? It makes no
Or a
sense,
gift that you like. Maybe you would like to receive this.
Exactly,
So that's why
exactly. Or you want to see me receive this. Are you feeling
Right.
it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Like you like, yeah, like you don't know what people like, but you know what you like. So you give them
Mhm.
something that you really like.
Right. Or you could say different ways. Or if they give you money or something, it's like, oh, you didn't take time to get me a gift. You just want to like give me
Hmm.
money or a
Right.
gift card or something because I'm not worth the time. Or you could see it another way, being like, oh, cool, I could choose what I want to get with it. You know?
Yes.
I had a
Yeah.
conversation with somebody. They're like, oh, I just give a gift card because then I don't have to worry about, if they give something, I don't like it,
Mhm.
I have to go
Just
return it.
let them pick it, right? It's all about perception, though.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any final words here as we wrap our hour?
I just I like what Jerry was saying, self-love. That was very important, giving love to ourselves and how filling up our own cup, because then we're able to recognize it everywhere else. We're starting with ourselves. So how we respect ourselves and value ourselves is very important in giving and receiving love.
Amen.
I'd like to give a word of affirmation.
Amen.
I love you just because you are.
Oh, yes.
Well done. Well done.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you
everybody.
all. Yeah, man. This is awesome. And I hope whoever watches this, you know that you can jump on the Universal Peace Covenant page on Facebook and meet a lot of us. And you can also come on the daily Zoom reading. You can go to peacedome.org, and there you can sign up for the daily reading of the Peace Covenant and also this monthly discussion. So check out the School of Metaphysics wherever you are. All right. Peace be with y'all.